We start here this half hour. The community of Mohlakeng on the West Rand are protesting against the illegal miners this morning. Residents want to confront suspected illegal miners in the area. Last week, Thursday, one person was killed when violence erupted in Kagiso as community members raided mining shafts. eNCA reporter Manqoba Mchunu is in Mohlakeng covering the story for us. Manqoba, we understand or see behind you that community members are on the move now. Where are they heading to after burning those shacks a bit earlier?
Well, Mfundo, there's a lot that has happened in the past few minutes or so. In fact, as you see these community members moving now, Mfundo, where they're coming from one of the places where, the illegal mining operations are happening in this community. So this is one of the areas where they say that the Zamazamas are operating here. And I can tell you, Mfundo, that we've seen quite a number of holes here in this particular area. I think I counted more than 20 of those, illegal shafts that were opened by Zamazama. So what these community members have been doing is that they have been throwing rocks, they have been throwing sand and soil into those, shafts, trying, of course, to seal them. But they say that they would need the assistance of TLPs at this particular stage to try and, close some of these mine shafts. I can tell you that there are children here, there are, old people here that were just working as a community, in unison in trying to shut and seal some of those mine shafts here in this particular area. And you can see now the community is on the move. Earlier on, they had gone as far as going into one of the bushes here, which is just, across from where we are. That's where they were really hunting some of those Zamazamas, and that's where they set fires as well to some of the operations here that are taking place. I think you can still see there's a lot of, fires around this particular area. They've been setting some of them alight. They've been setting bushes, trying, of course, to squeeze them out of where they are hiding and to ensure that, they try and perhaps apprehend some of them. So they've been literally giving chase, Mfundo, chasing some of these Zamazamas. They told us earlier on that they saw about 5 Basotho nationals that had come out of one of the, the shafts here, and they started running towards the direction of the bush. So this community had then made a dash for the bushes, and that's where they were trying to really find them. But I think they pulled back when they realized, Fundo, that, it was getting a bit dangerous because, they are saying that these Basotho nationals are armed. And so they fear that, the more they go into the bushes, that's where they are likely to be, danger elements as far as, perhaps shooting is concerned or retaliation from some of these miners is concerned. So right now, they've now agreed, Mfundo, that they're going to leave this particular area. There was a short meeting that the community members had held just a short while ago, just trying to map a way forward as to what's going to happen now, because, they have said that they will need the assistance of TLPs to come and shut down these particular holes. So right now they're moving, Fundo, and they're telling us that they'll now be going to some of the houses where these illegal miners are staying. So there are quite a number of places, and of course some of them are renting at some of the properties here in Mohlakeng. So they're going to be going there trying to root them out. So I'm going to challenge you njengomphakathi nenzani manje?
Into senzayo manje we are heading to the community. As you see now, we're coming from the field. We found some illegal mines there. There's holes there. It's pit. Everything is that what the community has been experiencing all along. So, but now what we decided is we have 4 important places that we're supposed to go to. It's not only this place that the Zamazamas are in. They are also in, there's a place also in hostel, also in Mohlakeng, right in the center of Mohlakeng hostel. There's also Basotho residents that are there. We're not saying Basothos are bad people. They are part of our community. But some of them, they've become the Zamazamas, which is something that we don't like as a community. So now we decided to stand up and rise up as a community from Mohlakeng and try to cap these people. In fact, we're not capping them. We want to move them out of our community because, as you can see, these are the mines. And we request the government to assist us. Please, government, we're talking to you. These mines are supposed to be open because you know that unemployment is rife in our community and in South Africa as a whole. Please do something.
So you're saying that, Baba, you spoke about police not, helping you as a community. And in fact, we're not even seeing police here. There's not even one police officer here.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we are also complaining about. Like just now, recently, we took already 3 memorandums to our community, to our police station there. Even the commissioner of Gauteng himself, Commissioner Elias, he was here also on the first memorandum that we handed over. But then nothing still having changed. We find out that our police station is not a satellite police station. It's supposed to open 24 hours, but nothing is happening. We live in fear here. Now, as you can see, we only see 2 police now, but if you can count the people that are here, there's a lot. There's plenty of us that are here now. So we're struggling. Can you please assist us with that also? I hope that the message is clear and the relevant people, the authority will listen to us.
Okay. Thank you, Baba. Mama, now Mama, you are out here. You are out with the community, Mama. Ulwelani ma?
Papa na kilwanela gore last day kono mazamazama re bolaetse motho and then hara kra thuso epe gompene re lwanela gore mazamazama a tsamaya ha re sa ba batla enough is enough re utlwile ke bone re kopa gore mapolice ba ne le backup ba re thusa because khona na mapolice ko kagisho ko malobane ba tletse ko kuruka tsopone ba tletse mo extension 11 ha bayo le aeroplane ha yo a gona thuso epe re na re kreya so ke lebogile.
So banenzani la mazamazama banihlukumeza kanjani ma?
Mazamazama ba re tlhokometsa papa ka re ha re kgone go tsamaya bosigo ha re kgone go le free go tsamaya re itsamela fela ha o tsamaya o tshogile ka re ba tsamaya ba tshwere dithunya rona ha rena dithunya so re maphelo a rena mo kotsing.
Okay, thank you, Ma. Well, that lady there just explaining, Fundo, that they're really being terrorized by the Zamazamas in this community. She says that they even fear walking at night. They can't walk at night because of the Zamazamas. They are, carrying out some of the heinous crimes in this particular community. And she says, of course, that, they've seen police going to Kagiso, but when it comes to this particular area, there seems not to be any action by police when it comes to some of the issues of criminality in this community. So it's a similar sentiment, Mfundo, that we're hearing here, the same sentiments that we heard in Kagiso last week when we spoke to community members. They'll tell you that they are being terrorized by illegal miners. They'll tell you that the criminal elements in the community are caused by the Zamazamas because they are carrying, weapons here in the community. So these community members are saying that they've actually given up on police trying to assist them. And that's the reason why they've now taken matters into their own hands. It is a long walk, Mfundo, and I can tell you that there are hundreds of community members, and we're now heading back towards the settlement itself, towards some of the houses here, where these residents are saying that they're going to be continuing to try and now go to those houses where they know that there is illegal mining activities that are occurring in this community. So we're going to be following them, Funa, just to see how this will all play out. But this is another fed up community that says they're fed up with the issue of crime, they're fed up with elements of illegal mining in this community, which they believe is behind some of the heinous crimes in this community.
And the unfortunate part, Manqoba, is we could see them conclude this whole operation without a police officer in sight that it is at least escorting them. I mean, we saw this last week in Kagiso, where they finished almost the whole operation of theirs without police. And police are important in such instances because you could see illegal miners being apprehended, then beaten up, people are hurt, people die. So at least the presence of police would restore some sort of calm in such an instance. But again, no police in sight.
Well, indeed, Fundo, but I think just in the last few minutes, we have actually seen 3 policemen that had just been walking behind the community members. But I can tell him, Fundo, that they are doing nothing at this point. They are just too many community members that are here. And, there was an attempt to even hold a meeting just to try and perhaps, speak to the community, but the community refused. They didn't even want to entertain that meeting, seemingly by some of the leaders as well as police as to how they're going to continue. So that just tells you about the broken, relations between the police as well as community members here. They're saying that they've lost faith in police. They've lost faith that the police are going to help them at all. And they now want to take matters into their own hands, which is what is happening here. But what is, of course, concerning Fundo, as you can see here, there are still young children that are part of these particular protests, part of these operations. And, they are also seemingly running and heading to these dangerous situations. But, they're saying that, it's for their children that they are here on the street. And so the fact that children are here as well really tells you just of the frustration that this community is facing at this particular point. And Mfundo, as you can see, they're now gathering there in front. They are going to be then, mapping out a way as to which houses they'll be going to. We saw last week, of course, in Kagiso, where they'd gone and demolished some of the houses, that destroyed some of the houses, that burned some of the houses. We saw that earlier here as well, that some of them were actually set alight. So they're now saying that they're going to be going to these particular areas and then trying to apprehend some of those illegal miners.
Let's just hope on the police's side they'll be able to restore the trust again, because they are going around having these imbizos. So perhaps after an imbizo, even in Mohlakeng, they'll be able to hear some of the grievances from these community members and start to rebuild a relationship. But also unfortunate that it has to get to such a situation where they take to the streets, then there's an imbizo that follows to try and understand what they're dealing with daily.
Indeed, Fundo. And I mean, you speak to these community members, they say that, they understand that, Police Minister Pegicele was here last week and that he spoke to some communities in the West Rand, and they're saying that, some of the things that were said by those communities are issues that are affecting them as well. And you recall, of course, Mfundo, that there have been promises that have been made by police that as far as some of the interventions are concerned. But these community members are saying, Mfundo, they simply cannot wait for the police, because in the past, the police have not, kept their promises when it comes to dealing with this issue. They have been doing nothing for so many years. They know that there are illegal mining operations that are happening in this particular area. But as far as any action is concerned, they're saying that their pleas for help have really fallen on deaf ears. So they're saying that the police minister can talk, but they want action, and they want to see action now. Of course, you'll recall that on Friday there were also some of the community leaders, some of them from here in Mohlakeng, that had gone to meet with the police top brass here, just discussing some of the interventions, discussing some of the operations that were going to take place in this area. And of course, among those was that they were going to show them some of these places where illegal mining is happening here in the West Rand, and they had actually committed that they are going to target those particular areas. But coming out of that meeting, there was a call by community members here in the West Rand from the different communities. I think it was about 4 communities, Fundo. It was Mansivo, it was Kagiso, as well as the community of Bekkersdal and Mohlakeng that were part of that particular meeting. So the leaders were there in that meeting. They agreed that, in fact, these protests must stop, and they agreed that there must be some sort of a ceasefire as far as protests are concerned, because what is happening now is that there are also, elements of criminality that are taking over. There's also destruction of property that is taking over, because when they go into some of these properties, they don't ask. They just go inside and they start, destroying and burning some of the items. As you can see in Fundo here, we understand that they're now burning some of the items that they're removing from one of the houses. Perhaps I'm going to ask my colleague Tammy just to move with me and see what's happening on that other side. But what they are doing here now is that they are removing some of the items from one of the houses. I'm just going to head there just to see exactly what is happening there. But this is one of the households where they say they believe illegal miners are staying.
One can only imagine how traumatized or scared the landlord would be.
Very traumatized, Fundo. In fact, even last week in Kagiso, we saw these protesters going into one of the houses. They don't ask for any permission. They just simply go into the house and they start, dismantling and destroying, what they believe are illegal mining operations. And, the landlord really doesn't have a say as far as this is concerned. We're just going to move there in Fundo and just allow you to hear what's happening here. again for scenes of destruction here by angry community members. And at this point, all the landlords are doing is just simply watching what is happening here. We're being told that we might need to move a bit back. Baba,
oh, this is the area where one of the Basotho guys is staying inside here. So they blocked the Zozo, they've ran away. So they're taking stuff away to go and burn it. But the owner of the house is still here.
What about the landlord? What about the person that this person is renting from? Aren't you destroying the property of that person as well?
I'm not sure about that one. I'm not sure about that. Maybe one of the guys will respond about this one, but I'm not sure.
So, Baba, you're not trusting the police to actually stop illegal mining here?
No, I don't. I don't trust the police because the police is what they are on the payroll of these guys. That's why I don't trust them. Yes.
Well, that's one of the community members here, just speaking to us about what is happening here. Well, Fundo, I can tell you that it's scenes of destruction here. They have dismantled this particular shack. They have taken things from inside, you know, some of the equipment that they believe is used in illegal mining. But what I've seen here, I've seen more blankets, I've seen more, equipment, housing equipment, more than the operations that they claim are taking place here. But community members are quite sure, Mfundo, that there are illegal mining operations that are taking place here. They will tell you that this is one of the places that has been, pointed out by community members where illegal mining is happening, where some of the spoils are kept, where some of those illegal miners are operating from. You can see there, Fundo, destruction.
One of the community members you spoke to now was evading the question around destroying the property itself, because that structure could house any other person that could come and rent from the owner, but he didn't seem to want to entertain that part of your question.
Of course, in fact, Fundo, they were chasing us away just a short while ago, saying that they don't want the media here. They don't want some of these things to be documented because they say that, they're angry and they want to take action now. So you can see there's elements of criminality as well here, Fundo, as far as destruction of property is concerned, because they're really not giving the owners any option. They're not negotiating with the owners. They're simply just going into these properties and they're destroying some of these things. I just want to see if I can find perhaps the owner of this house just to speak to them. I'm not sure whether I will be able to find them, but you can understand, Fundo, the kind of frustration that they're facing at this particular point, the fear that they must be facing at this particular point, because these are people who also were trying to earn a living in terms of renting out some of their houses.
Yes.
But now what has happened is that because they are renting out these properties to people that are believed to be illegal mining, they now have to deal with the destruction that is taking place here. Well, there is one community member, in fact, a community leader, a leader of this march. Perhaps I can pose that question to him about, Baba, you are destroying somebody's property. Are you not worried? Are you not concerned that the owner of this house, how they feel about what's happening here?
All I can say is that the community is angry and there is nothing I can do. It's not at my hands for now, but otherwise I can say it's not right what they did, but these Sotos Zamazamas, they make people's lives too difficult each and every day. That is why things are like this.
But as leaders of this march, you can't also be condoning this.
I can't say I like it. I don't like it. Because I said from the start when the march started that we don't do things like this when we came to this house. But the families, for now, they are not happy because some of them, they have killed their families, their mothers, their children. So they rape them everything happened at the same time. There is nothing we can do.
But as the leaders of this protest, are you going to take any responsibility for this damage that is happening and for if there are any injuries to people that is happening here?
Yes, ndingayithatha leyo kodwa ukuyithatha kwakhona iblame yakhona ifanele iqale emapoliseni because laba bantu basebenza ngabo and yibo abantu bayenza ukuthi amapolisa bayenza ukuthi izinto zibe kanje. So le nkinga sikuyo asikuthi ndikuyo ndi-leader ndi-one ndikuyo namapolisa because yibo babavumela ukuthi bayenze izinto ezinje.
Well, you've heard it, Fundo. This leader of the protest making it quite clear that they're not going to take any blame in this because it's the police that have failed to do their job. So they're saying that while they don't condone what is happening, they can't stop it as well because these are angry community members that want this issue, to be dealt with. We can see smoke billowing from here in Fundo. It tells you again, we're seeing fires here in this community, and that this is what is going to be happening here. They're going to be going and literally, looking for illegal miners here and destroying anything that they believe is linked to illegal mining. And they're moving now, Mfundo, to another location.
Manqoba, that community leader also touches on a very important point of apportioning blame, perhaps to police in this respect, that what we're seeing today is not just as a result of the community members doing where they have put fire to some of the furniture of these illegal miners, but because they claim that police have aided some of these illegal miners in whatever corrupt activities that they do.
Indeed, Fundo, and in fact, when you speak to some of these community members, they'll tell you that, they believe that police are in cahoots with some of these illegal miners. They will tell you, Fundo, that they see police vans here in these communities coming to collect money from some of the illegal miners, and that when they try to report some of these activities that happen here, the police simply don't do anything. Even if they are arrested, they say that those people will be arrested, but by the next week or within a few days, you'll see them out of jail. That tells you that, the police are simply not helping them. They're not doing anything to curb illegal mining in this community. I just want to, show you, Fundo, have a look at how many community members are out here on the street. Literally, this community, united, they're saying that they are fed up with police, in action here in this community. They're fed up with police complacency as far as dealing with the issue of illegal mining is concerned. So yet another community, Mfundo, frustrated and feeling let down by police, but more than anything saying that they are simply sick and tired of criminality in this area that they say is being exacerbated by these illegal miners.
Manqoba, no, those are scary pictures. I mean, these are not just a few members of the community. This looks like a whole community that has come out in their numbers to be part of this operation. And very scary is that if community members have lost faith in the police, they're not only a danger to others, but they are a danger to themselves, because everything they take it upon themselves to do. And that's why we have fire just behind you.
It did, Fundo, and I just want to show you the police that are here, Mfundo. It's only that police in Nyala that is here and one police van, in fact 2 police vans that I can see here. And the police are simply not, doing anything at this point. They've been following the crowd, of course, just to try and see what happens. But as far as any action is concerned, we haven't seen, any action that has been taken by police. There are community members everywhere. I can tell you, everywhere I'm looking, I can see community members, and they are just saying, Fundo, that they're going to continue. They're going to be walking to those houses. They are going to make sure that they stop what is happening in this community. So they are now moving, Fundo, to another house. They say that there will be several houses that they'll be going to, just trying to stop some of these operations that are happening here.
Let's hope where they go there is no opposition by landlords, because landlords could easily have the right to say you cannot trespass, and then we could see some problems. Hopefully it will continue to be as peaceful as it can be under such circumstances.
It did, Fundo, and we'll try, if we can, and perhaps speak to some of the landlords and just to gauge them on, how they feel about this, because surely, what is happening in their properties, is unbecoming, and we know that this is something that they would not be happy about happening in their properties. But again, it just speaks to a community that is very frustrated, a community that wants action, and a community that wants action now. Well, we have to follow them fully just to see where they are going at this particular point and what is going to happen from here. But what we do understand is that they will be going to the different houses where they will be targeting some of those operations.
All right, Manqoba, we'll leave it there for now and catch up with you in just a bit. There's a reporter, Manqoba Mchunu, doing a sterling job there, just following and keeping track of those community members in Mohlakeng.